Time has come.
Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back again. So in today's video, I'm gonna be reacting to a brand new video made by Goji Center, which is called Mechagodzilla vs. Ghidorah Battle Face-Off In-Depth Combat Analysis. I kept getting a lot of requests for this reaction video, so with that being said guys, let's go ahead and check this out.
Monster Zero, a titan best known for its violent nature and
yeah.
large size, will be put to the test against perhaps the most powerful man-made combat weapon.
I don't know. I still think it's King Ghidorah. We'll have to see.
We will take these two monsters and compare each battle attribute head to head
Sorry.
to see who has the edge on the other combatant. We will compare battle intelligence.
It has to it has to be King Ghidorah, my fault.
Who would most likely walk out of this battle alive? This will be a battle of legends. Alien versus machine.
Alien versus machine, yeah. Alright, yeah, that's a good comparison. Let's see.
These two legends to the test to decide who is the true Titan destroyer.
Alright, let's get it.
Corporal build. To kick off this battle analysis, we will start with the basics.
Okay.
Who's better built to fight?
Okay.
First, we have Mechagodzilla, a Titan built to specifically combat the real G-Man, measuring up approximately 390 feet in height.
Yeah.
This Titan is no small foe, considering that this Titan is a...
And I called it too. I knew he was gonna be, you know, really good at fighting.
Nothing more than a fully armored metallic Titan, almost immune to any piercing attacks, slashes, and punches.
Yeah.
Nothing other than a supercharged atomic axe blade will be able to pierce this Titan. It's also possible that this metallic Titan is lighter than Godzilla himself, given that Godzilla was an extremely dense and heavy creature, with more apparent mass than the mech. In conclusion, Mecha G is a giant fighting exoskeleton composed of a high percentage of strong and lighter metal alloys. Ghidorah's size, on the other hand, is in a league of its own, measuring over 521 feet in
Woo,
height,
boy!
a whopping
I love that height.
1,000 tons. There is little room for doubt that this Titan will dwarf the vast majority of other MonsterVerse Titans.
Oh yeah. That scaling between Godzilla and Ghidorah.
Estimated to be anywhere between 1,300 to 1,500 feet wide.
God
These,
damn.
along with the rest of its body, are armored with small metallic scales and small traces of aurum or gold. Yes, gold. This metallic composition is an excellent conductor of electricity, which serves as both a weapon and armor. We will touch more on this later. So who has the more resistant and apt corporal build for this fight? Although Ghidorah is heavier and larger,
He's gonna go to Mechagodzilla right here.
it's more beneficial to be armored head to toe. The size difference between these two titans does not warrant an overwhelming disadvantage for the mech. Not to mention the
That's
fact
true.
That
That is true.
find it harder to pierce this titan. After all, Ghidorah is technically a vertebrate with no true exoskeleton, making it prone to pierce attacks. Knowing this, the edge for the best corporal build in this circumstance goes to the mech. Edge Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, alright.
Intelligence.
Okay, I don't know about this one. Probably Mechagodzilla again.
Mechagodzilla in this battle. In Godzilla vs. Kong, this mech had two pilots. The first being Ren Serizawa, and the next, after a brutal takeover, this dude, nicknamed
Kevin!
Ghidorah's left head. So in theory, the minds facing off in this battle will be Kevin plus a supercomputer and Ghidorah's 3 heads. Now to intelligence. Mechagodzilla is basically a supercomputer who is now controlled by this left head. If you know anything about this head in particular, this guy was the most inquisitive out of the 3.
Yeah.
A bit reckless, and maybe not the brightest.
My boy
He does
Kevin.
retain all his past experiences in his memory. Remember that once Ghidorah loses one of his heads, this head still remembers everything that happened since Ghidorah has
Everything.
over its body.
That's why he had that vengeance in Godzilla vs. Kong.
Memory. In addition to that, this mech's AI has learned a few tricks thanks to Ren's piloting against skullcrawlers for the past couple years. Which explains why this mech sometimes fights like a human. On the other hand, we have the OG Ghidorah with all its heads. The most critical being this one.
The middle
This is
one.
the main leader,
Yeah.
the one in control. meaning that this head alone has somewhat of an advantage over
Gravity beams, okay?
in terms of
Sorry, I couldn't
strategy.
resist.
Since this head was the one making all of the calls and fights we have seen before, it is safe to assume that this guy will be able to outwit Kevin's AI and possibly even predict reckless maneuvers that the mech might attempt. Not to mention that this Ghidorah has an additional 2 heads to make independent decisions if one of them sees something the main head doesn't.
That is
This
true,
one
yep.
is really close, since the mech's AI is capable of learning at a fast rate, but its lack of battle experience and the hardwired subordination to the real Ghidorah's main head gives Monster Zero the edge when it comes to battle intelligence.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm really surprised because a lot of people keep rooting for Mechagodzilla, so...
Stronger kaiju. Overall strength.
This has got to go to Ghidorah. I don't know, yeah.
Immense strength. Mechagodzilla left no room for doubt that it is one of the strongest the Monsterverse has ever seen. Although being about the same size as the G-Man, the mech was able to ragdoll Godzilla with
Yeah, he was kicking his ass over the place.
Mechagodzilla will be powered by the new source of kaiju energy found in the Hollow Earth, meaning that this Titan will be at full strength when facing Ghidorah. Its arms were much bigger than Godzilla's, giving it more reach and possibly capable of
That's the
stopping
fake
charging
Godzilla's
Ghidorah
arm.
dead in its tracks. In addition to having strong arms, this Titan's legs are incredibly strong as well. This Titan was able to stay upright while Kong landed on his back, and was also able to use them as a devastating weapon.
I was like,
This is not enough. Mechagodzilla's impact strength could be increased with these. Jet propulsion allowed the mech to increase the amount of force.
That is true. Yeah, when he whacked him right there, boom. Yeah, I was like, damn.
Played differently if Godzilla did not face Kong earlier. Ghidorah, being a massive Titan, is obviously going to have an upper hand when it comes to mass.
Right.
But can this strength be leveraged? This Titan does not have arms that can be used for offense.
That is the
but it
biggest
does have the
disadvantage.
largest
Yes.
the mecha will ever see. The propulsion produced by these wings is much stronger than the one emitted by the mech's jet engines, meaning that in an aerial strike, Ghidorah will probably be capable of bringing down the mech. Which brings us to the next weapon, the legs. These might not necessarily be stronger than the mech, but can most definitely grip better. This combination of gripping with legs, tail, heads, along with the flapping of wings, gives Ghidorah the ability to carry up to 70% of additional weight.
Woo! Damn.
Who is the strongest? Since these two Titans are not anatomically built the same, it is unfair to compare these limb for limb. Ghidorah tends to use his 2 outer heads as arms, which could be no match for the mech's giant forearms. The mech's legs are weaponized, but Ghidorah's are used for gripping. But Ghidorah can offset this imbalance of strength.
This is
with his
really
weight.
interesting.
Therefore, the allocation of strength between both kaiju comes out at
So
an
the
equilibrium.
tie.
making
Okay.
this a draw in overall
Yeah.
strength.
I don't know, man. This is an interesting fight comparison, you know? Didn't expect this.
In Godzilla vs. Kong, we witnessed Mechagodzilla avoid many frontal attacks by the G-Man. How? Well, it's because of these bad boys. Yep, these jet propulsors came in handy once again, allowing the mech to make airborne 100.
That was one of my favorite moves that Mechagodzilla did do right here, honestly.
Knowing this, it would be impossible for most Titans to be able to attack it from the sides. Additionally, we see that for a massive machine, Mechagodzilla moves quite fast. Not in a clunky fashion as the early from Pacific
Not in a
Rim.
clunky
Its
fashion.
massive opponent Ghidorah moved quickly also, but once it gains momentum, this is the issue with overly large Titans. It takes time for them to move. While you could argue that its heads are very agile, Ghidorah's entire corporal entity is compromised due to its large amplified mass.
Yeah.
And by that, we mean the wings. In order for Ghidorah to fight effectively, he will need enough flat room to move around. This explains the reason why Ghidorah would attempt to flatten any surrounding obstructions before combat. Take a look at the aftermath of Boston. Everything seemed to be flattened.
Yep.
And in the Battle of Hong Kong,
It was
lot of
gone.
structures were still upright, suggesting that Ghidorah does indeed require a lot of clear space to fight at his full potential. But compared against Mechagodzilla, Ghidorah's maneuverability pales in comparison, giving this edge to the mech.
Alright,
He holds on
alright.
to all mobility attributes, when it comes to locomotion.
Yes, I liked when he started shooting those missiles and Godzilla's like, ah!
As mentioned earlier, Mechagodzilla is not a pushover when it comes to mobility. This Titan can apparently move faster than Godzilla over short distances, thanks again to the jet propulsors. And since the mech was possibly lighter than the G-Man, this speed would at first seem faster than Ghidorah, at least on land. Ghidorah would also run fast since it would be running on technically 4 limbs. Its snake-like movements would allow it to cut through the air easier than it would while moving upright, but might still not be enough. Ghidorah, however, could also deploy its flight capability to move even while close to the ground. This allowed him to move at speeds fast enough to knock Godzilla over. At full speed, however, this Titan can move at approximately 632 miles per hour. This speed would give Ghidorah 1, enough speed to retreat, and 2, enough momentum to severely injure an unwary Mechagodzilla. Knowing this, Ghidorah takes the edge when it comes to overall speed in this battle.
Oh yeah, alright.
Terrain compatibility. Before moving on to how exactly these Titans could shred each other up, let's talk about terrain. This is important because in order for us to conclude a fair verdict, we need to determine where this battle is most likely to take place.
Yeah, where would this even occur? I was so curious about that too. Yeah.
Urban or desolate. Additionally,
or in space.
Start of Mechagodzilla shows that this Titan was equipped with hidden water jet propulsors, which allowed it to move and even fight underwater. Unfortunately for Ghidorah, this is exactly the location where he did not fare too well against the
yeah, this one it was over, but then the humans had to screw it up.
If for whatever reason Ghidorah is stuck in the water with the mech, his only priority will be to escape, so no real combat will ever happen there.
That's true. Can't do shit in that water.
An excellent combatant everywhere else. Urban landscapes, desolate glaciers, most importantly, while airborne. While it is unlikely that Mecha-G will take the fight to the water, it is more likely for Ghidorah to take the fight to the heights.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that sounds good. Or that sounds about right.
At great altitudes. For this reason, terrain compatibility goes to Ghidorah, as it is more plausible that he will be in control of the battle terrain.
Okay.
Make this advantage obsolete using weaponry. Melee weapons.
Ah, yeah. Ghidorah he just has his fucking gravity beams.
In determining the victor of battle. This is no different. Both Ghidorah and the mecha are equipped with weapons that will leave any opponent critically injured or dead.
Yep.
Mechagodzilla comes equipped with 2 strong arms that can inflict one of the strongest punches in the Monsterverse, possibly even stronger than Kong. This new radiant
I'm pretty sure it was if you went flying like that.
to make it all the more
Like,
devastating.
shit.
An even more critical blow would come from its massive legs. One stomp could possibly crush one of Ghidorah's smaller heads. This arsenal
Ooh, yeah, that would be pretty brutal. Oh, yeah.
Godzilla's most gruesome weapon is its scythed tail. Apart from inflicting blows that could send Kong flying, this weapon is equipped with sharp, rotating blades at the tip, capable of
you got that scorpion tail.
literally blending any internal organs and other tissue. Note that this weapon has a very wide range of motion, since it is capable of bending in very acute angles. Ghidorah possesses some of the sharpest teeth, but with an additional 2 heads. But given the metallic composition of the mech, it's unlikely that these will inflict any real damage to the mech.
It's gonna probably just break their teeth.
Deadly, but are mostly used as a tool, not as a weapon. The only limb that could inflict some damage to the mech would be its wing arms. These are buildings with a
like yeah, if he like shoots through the wings and all that, yeah.
knock Mechagodzilla off balance. But its lack of piercing capability puts Ghidorah at a serious disadvantage against the mech, which gives him the edge when it comes to close melee weapons.
Yeah, I mean it would make sense. So yeah.
Score when it comes to ranged weapons. Ranged weaponry.
Ranged. Ooh, okay. Let's see how this one goes.
Chances are that you would get peppered with missiles.
Yes, there goes my scene.
Contact with the mech. This Titan is equipped with 2 16-cell missile launchers on its shoulders, and possibly more hidden underneath.
That was my favorite moment right there too. He said, "Beep beep
This is
beep."
enough to cause flashes and burns to temporarily disorient another opponent. These short-range missiles are directed by the mech's aiming mechanism. Once the mech fixates on a target, these missiles will do its bidding. Unlike the mech, Ghidorah does not necessarily launch anything similar to missiles, but summons something else. Before even spotting Ghidorah, it is certain that you would run into a Category 6 hurricane. This storm is caused by no other than Monster Zero himself,
that was my favorite feature about King Ghidorah in this movie. Oh my god.
strong winds that can possibly
Like, imagine this in real life.
other titans. This, however, should not affect the mech by much, but this is just the beginning. Apart from creating storms, this titan can expel an overwhelming amount of lightning from its wings.
Full power!
That it could even injure itself. This energy burst expelled by Ghidorah must be charged by a nearby power source, such as an electric generator, or maybe another high-energy object. Unlike the mech's missiles, this strike cannot be aimed, but can definitely cause destruction in a determined radius. In 2019, this strike was so strong that it blinded and disoriented Godzilla for a good amount of time.
Yeah.
So who takes the edge? We have to consider the fact that Mechagodzilla does not have an infinite amount of missiles. And it is unlikely...
I'm gonna say King Ghidorah on this one. King
On the
Ghidorah.
other hand, even though this takes up a lot of energy, this lightning strike can be recharged.
Yeah, I mean...
This weapon was also more effective towards the
Yeah, there we go. Yep.
Ghidorah the edge when it comes to ranged weaponry. But this is nothing compared to the next two final weapons these titans possess. Blast weaponry.
Blast weaponry! Woo!
With both of these titans' most deadly weapons. In GVK, we were introduced to Mechagodzilla's lethal proton scream. This energy burst is so strong that it can slice a skull crawler in half.
Yeah, this, I feel so bad for that skull crawler. I was like, damn.
Of a titan, it will most likely cause painful burns. If exposed long enough on Titan armor, it will be able to penetrate and cut.
Yep.
Unlike Godzilla's nuclear blast, which can cause an explosive shock impact, this proton scream is so hot that it literally cuts with heat. What does Ghidorah have to counter this? Electrocution.
Ah,
Zero
shit.
is equipped with a full suit of electroreceptors that can project its energy from its vocal orifice and onto any target. This gravity beam is hotter than the surface of the sun, but less concentrated than Mechagodzilla.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Ghidorah counters this with an additional two heads that can strike
Oh.
or at the same target.
Woo.
The additional two heads can also strike different parts of a titan and perform flanking maneuvers, something
Yeah, that
not
too.
even the mech's agility can counter. And finally, because of its electrical nature, it is likely that enough exposure to this gravity beam might even cause power surges to the mech, causing its electrical circuits to fail. Both of these weapons are
Yeah, just pour alcohol on him. That's all you gotta do.
used correctly, making this a final draw in blast weaponry. We
Okay.
almost have enough data to determine a winner, but first we need to reveal.
I don't know.
one
I'm gonna
last
just
thing.
throw my bet on King Ghidorah this time. Yeah, I'm gonna just say King Ghidorah. Fuck it.
The
King Ghidorah.
existence of Mechagodzilla is due to the current Alpha Titan. Built to outperform and defeat the Alpha can only mean that this Titan, along with its AI, is hardwired to not fear anything. Fear is a neurological dysfunction, a weakness only found in organic beings. Monster Zero, despite its resemblance to ancient Hydra depictions, is not part of the Earth's natural order. That's right, folks. Ghidorah actually
He's from outer
comes
space.
from another planet
Yeah.
and does not belong here. The hard evidence of this comes from its unnatural ability to regenerate at alarming
This
rates.
part caught me off guard in theaters. I'll never forget
As long
this.
as Ghidorah stays near a highly radioactive or electric source, this Titan will be able to regenerate any lost limbs and even its heads. Additionally, this Titan ability to harness energy from both Titans and objects makes this kaiju almost invincible over a prolonged period of time. Ghidorah's approach to this specific face-off will be a battle of attrition, waiting for the mech to
Attrition?
run out of energy or even to harness power from the mech itself. The mech's main objective will be to finish this battle as quickly as possible to risk energy depletions or losses to Ghidorah.
Okay.
We are now ready to determine
Alright.
the ultimate MonsterVerse villain.
Let's see who we got.
With his metallic composition and modern technology takes the edge on combat build, agility, and melee weaponry. Monster Zero takes the edge on battle intelligence, speed, terrain compatibility, and ranged weaponry. Both these titans are equal in overall strength and blast.
I don't know why I get nervous every time.
Godzilla does not suffer from fear and intimidation, giving it a psychological advantage. His opponent, Ghidorah, on the other hand, possesses the power to regenerate and harness energy from other sources, giving a prolonged combat edge against the mech. By compiling
Who is it? Who is it?
we determined that Monster Zero is easily to win against Mechagodzilla. But how is
I
this
figured, yeah. I was like, it has to be King Ghidorah, right?
By judging strictly on melee prowess, Mechagodzilla does have the upper hand. Being unable to pierce or rip any limbs from the mech, Ghidorah's melee weaponry is practically useless, even after an attempt to carry Mechagodzilla off ground.
That would be hilarious if he did get dropped from space like that, just to blow up.
Ghidorah would have been to aim inside its oral orifice or eyes.
Oh,
or
man.
one location long enough to pierce. It is likely, however, that Ghidorah determined that the most effective way to fight the mech was to stay airborne or at a considerable distance away from its superior short-range weapons. It is now when Ghidorah will deploy the weapon that defeats the mech. Its gravity beam. How? Remember, Mechagodzilla is an energy-powered titan, meaning that its energy capacity does have its limits. A prolonged gravity beam or an array of heavy electrical bursts would make the mech undergo a critical energy surge.
Oh, yeah.
Which would ultimately fry its control circuits inside its head, making it lose communication to its main command center and rendering it useless. Any unconscious mech would only proceed to get picked apart. All this without mentioning that any injury inflicted to Ghidorah would most likely heal. The only way Mechagodzilla would win is if this battle took place underwater, and if he inflicted a corporal.
Yeah, I agree with that.
To kill Ghidorah. Had Mechagodzilla been a
Sorry, it just looks so painful.
Composition and weapons, he would probably win this battle. Mechagodzilla was a weapon specifically designed to fight and defeat a Godzilla specimen.
Yeah.
Ghidorah is not
That's the biggest takeaway here.
and does not fight by our earthly set of rules. As Ishiro Serizawa once said, the arrogance of man is
Yes.
thinking
Love
nature
this
is in our
quote.
control and not the other way around. Do you think humanity will ever defeat the Titans?
Oh, hell no.
Monster versus
Ha!
Godzilla
Nah.
without Godzilla. Do you
Oh,
agree
no,
or
let's not have that
disagree with
happen
this
now.
analysis? Let us know in the comments.
I really enjoyed that video. That was a really interesting comparison. I never thought twice about that. Wow. Because when you guys first told me about this fight, I didn't really know who to like really choose. I was just like, well, basically it sounds like King Ghidorah versus Kevin, so I'm gonna just choose King Ghidorah. And that's mainly because, yeah, Mechagodzilla and Godzilla vs. Kong was designed specifically to really just, you know, destroy Godzilla. On top of that too, basically in Godzilla vs. Kong, Mechagodzilla is seen as like a bully in this film. So he's like that asshole that just interferes in all the fights and just causes more trouble. I definitely agree with all the points that Goji Center has made in this video. It would be so cool to see this happen in the future of the Monsterverse films. Who did you guys vote for? Mechagodzilla or King Ghidorah? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you guys go ahead and also subscribe to Goji Center's channel. And if you guys are new to this channel, please smash the like button, comment, subscribe, and turn that bell. And I will see you guys the next time. Peace.